Tonight, forget the wine. These people are learning the Word of God over beers. How they're pushing the limits on tradition. Sipping the suds in Portland.
There's always something cool and special and unique about every bar.
See how your favorite bar ranks among the city's hottest spots. Free at last. Mary Kay Letourneau is spending the night outside of a jail cell for the first time in years. Tonight, she's one step closer to reuniting with her victim. Hit and run.
It's a dangerous road. There's been lots of accidents on it. Over the years, I lived here 32 years, and there've been lots of accidents.
One man dead, a young woman charged, and a family looking for answers. But first, police bust a meth lab inside this home. The owner, a local corrections officer. Why he can't believe it happened here. First on Fox. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Wayne Garcia.
And I'm Shauna Parsons. First on Fox tonight, police are at the scene of a major meth bust in Gresham. And you won't believe who owns the house, a Multnomah County Corrections deputy. Now, he is not charged, but the woman renting the home is. Christine Jacob and her friend Jeremy Ponto face drug charges tonight for running a meth lab out of the home at 5th and K. KPTV's Kevin Kouari got an up-close look at the bust. He's live in Gresham with more. Kevin.
And Shauna, investigators in hazmat suits have just moved in. Take a look. They're out in the front yard underneath that canopy going through piles of evidence, bottles of chemicals, hypodermic needles, and a variety of drugs, mainly, of course, methamphetamine. Now, the corrections officer who owns the home has rented it out for years but says he had no idea this was going on. Police say that's another sign of just how brazen meth dealers can be. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies took over this Gresham home tonight. Even in the front yard, they found enough evidence to charge the tenant and her friend.
So they're coming out here using their vehicles to store meth and even meth waste in their vehicle, and then using the needles to shoot up with methamphetamine.
Police say Jeremy Ponto, a known car thief, and Christine Jacob operated the lab inside Jacob's apartment. Some longtime neighbors had no idea.
Usually these cars are in, they're just working on the cars. I haven't seen a lot of people coming and going or anything.
But police say the two had been making and dealing meth for some time. Deputies found bottles of chemicals used to make meth, pills, and bags of marijuana. Other neighbors saw the telltale signs.
We've never seen anything that we could actually call and say we've seen something, but there's just a lot of traffic.
Lori Phillips says people would come and go at all hours. Police did surveillance on the home for weeks and finally got the tip they needed. Tonight they were able to serve a search warrant, moved in, and found what they were looking for. It worries neighbors thinking of what could have happened.
Some drug person coming and, I don't know, maybe having bullets flying past your house and right near my children.
The house will be shut down until the owner, a corrections deputy, can get it cleaned up. A long process, but for most in this neighborhood, a relief.
They could never get in before. The police have said that they've tried, and I'm just glad it's finally happening.
And back live now, these investigators will remain out here on the scene for much of the night. Again, the owner of the home will have to get this cleaned up, which can easily cost thousands of dollars, but the apartment will not be able to be occupied until that happens. Live in Gresham, Kevin Kouari, the 10 o'clock news.
A Vancouver woman is in jail on drug charges tonight after police say she offered drugs to two teenagers. But instead of taking them, the teens flagged down a state trooper. It all started last night at Northeast 99th Street and 7th in Vancouver. KPTV's Jamie Wilson is live with the story. Jamie?
Well, the two teenagers first spotted 36-year-old Margarita Hall here at this intersection, and police say after that it was the boys' quick thinking that helped them catch the woman with baggies of drugs in her car and arrest her. Tonight, Andy DeVito and Daniel Souders are still amazed by their bizarre turn of events last night. They say it all started when the suspect pulled up beside them to point out their broken taillight, but they picked up on something else.
She was on something, we were sure of it, and when we saw her the way she drove, we also knew that something was wrong with this lady, so.
Worried that she might cause an accident, Andy and Daniel followed the woman. A few miles away, she motioned to have them pull over in this parking lot. That's when they say she asked for help in finding a stolen car, and then she offered up several ways to pay them.
And then she offered us drugs or whatever if we showed her where it was. She told us she'd give us some. We're like, oh, no thanks.
So she offered us like money at first, but then she didn't have any. And then she offered us weed. But I mean, we weren't interested in that.
But these two young men were just starting to execute their plan.
We told her to follow us in her car, so we were going to try and flag down a policeman.
A state trooper just happened to be nearby. The teens pulled up to his car. They alerted him about the woman, the drugs, and the kind of car she was driving.
She was pulling away, and we pulled up to the cop, and then he'd whipped around and pulled her over.
Andy and Daniel know that some guys their age may have taken the marijuana and turned a blind eye. But these drug-free teens say it never occurred to them not to do the right thing.
I mean, I don't do drugs. When I saw this lady, you know, it just again shows me how I don't want to end up like that, obviously. And
now, when police arrested Margarita Hall, they tell us they found drug paraphernalia in her car and 2 bags of meth on her. Live in Vancouver tonight, Jamie Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
Portland police say witnesses of a deadly hit-and-run accident helped investigators catch the 26-year-old driver. Investigators say Misty Walton hit and killed a man near 153rd Avenue and Southeast Powell and then sped off. KPTV's David Wilson is live in Southeast Portland with the details. Dave.
Yeah, tonight we're standing at Southeast 148th and Division, about 20 blocks where the accident happened. The woman was actually arrested in this parking lot. Witnesses say she had no valid driver's license and no insurance.
I saw the truck then. That's when I saw the truck. The truck was on him, and he put his hand out, tried to either get her to stop or to brace himself.
Tonight, Bill Monroe is still reeling from witnessing the deadly hit-and-run accident that left 62-year-old Clyde Carr dead at the scene.
She hit him. She hit him real hard.
Then to make matters worse, Monroe says 26-year-old Misty Walton, the alleged driver, didn't even stop to try and help Carr.
And she gave it gas. I was like, oh, she's gonna take off.
As Carr lay dying on the edge of 153rd and Powell, Monroe says he chased after Walton as she sped away in this old Ford truck, reaching speeds of more than 60 miles per hour.
So I started honking, and I was just, you need to pull over. And pull over. And she just started freaking out.
As seen from Air 12, police finally caught up with Walton near 148th and Division. Monroe says the woman got on her knees and became hysterical.
And then I asked her, I was like, why didn't you stop? I don't have a license. I don't have a license. Oh, no, I didn't stop. This is bad.
A very, very wonderful man.
Neighbors say Clyde Carr was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather who was partially blind.
Taking care of his grandkids and walking them out to the bus stop and waiting for them there.
She just kept saying that. She didn't have a license. She didn't have a license.
According to Bill Monroe, not only did Walton not have a license, but no insurance, and she had 2 children with her as passengers. He says for the family of Clyde Carr, Walton needed to be caught and held accountable.
Just want to make sure that the family is taken care of, because they were a nice family.
And tonight, Misty Walton is in the Multnomah County Jail facing felony hit-and-run charges. We're live in Southeast Portland. David Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
Portland police hope this sketch will lead them to the hit-and-run driver who killed a 13-year-old boy. Eve DeMaya died last month after someone hit him as he crossed the road at Southeast 80th and Foster. The suspect was driving a 1980s American-made gray or silver car with damage to the headlight. Call Crime Stoppers at 503-823-HELP if you have any information.
Tonight, Clark County officers are looking for a gunman who robbed 2 restaurants this past week, one in Battleground, one in the Hazeldale neighborhood. KPTV's Deborah Gill is live in Vancouver tonight with all the details. Deborah?
A man jumped out of these bushes and ordered 2 women to the ground. Then he made them get up again and hand over envelopes like this full of cash and store receipts. Police tonight believe that same man hit another restaurant and he could strike again.
He was well covered. He was able to.
Tonight, victims of the armed robbery are talking about what happened to them late Sunday night.
Told us he would kill us if you know, and we're just like, okay, we do anything that he said, you know.
Just after the pizza parlor in Hazeldale closed, Melody and another woman employee were walking to their cars with the night's money and receipts. A man jumped out of the bushes, pointed a gun at them, and demanded their money.
I was scared to death.
The gunman is described as a light-skinned black man in his late 20s or early 30s. He was wearing black clothes and a beanie hat. A similarly described man also held up this fast food restaurant in Battleground after midnight on Tuesday. He went inside, pointed a gun, and demanded money. As an employee opened the cash register, the robber hit him on the head with the gun, saying he tried to set off an alarm, then ran off without any money. Police believe the 2 robberies are related.
Maybe he'd been watching. I mean, we really don't know. We didn't know.
One restaurant manager says procedures have been changed for the employees' safety.
And I was really scared for him, so I've always told them not to do that, but going together, they thought they were safe. But, you know, I mean, if somebody's got a gun, it doesn't really matter how many people are there.
Employees and managers from both restaurants tonight are hoping the armed robber is caught.
I hope he gets caught. You don't go robbing innocent little girls, you know? That's wrong.
Management of this restaurant say these bushes will be cut back so no one can hide in them again. Live in Vancouver tonight, Deborah Gill, the 10 o'clock news.
Tonight, police are looking for the person who shot and killed a man in southeast Portland. Someone shot Trevor Rowe in the chest early this morning at Kenilworth Park. KPTV's Jim Hyde joins us live from the park with more. Jim, how are neighbors reacting to the news tonight?
Well, with surprise, most of the people that we talk to say they consider Kenilworth Park a safe place to come with their families. Jennifer Millar used to play here in Kenilworth Park when she was a kid. Now she's brought her own children here to relax. She was surprised to learn about the murder this morning.
I used to come here all the time. I was like 14. I'd be out here at like 11:30 at night. That's how safe I felt.
Neighbors around the park at 32nd and Holgate told police they heard gunshots about 1:30 this morning. When police arrived, they found the victim dead. They identify him as 22-year-old Trevor Rowe of southeast Portland. The medical examiner says Rowe died of a gunshot wound in the chest. Other neighbors say they sometimes see people drinking, smoking marijuana, or vandalizing in Kenilworth Park, which certainly does not make it unique among city parks. But no one we talked to called it a violent place.
I've never seen anything like that out over in this area. I mean, nobody's ever robbed anything that I've ever heard of over here. Not that much, you know. I mean, I just work, a couple blocks away.
So if you were in the Kenilworth Park area early this morning, Portland police are looking for some help in developing leads into the identity of the killer of Trevor Rowe. Reporting live here in southeast Portland, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
A cool day and also a gray day. In fact, we even squeezed out a few sprinkles out of those clouds. Now, it was a different story east of the Cascades. You folks just got hammered with severe thunderstorms again today. Find out if that'll happen again tomorrow. And we've got a heat wave on the way. That's in the 7-day pinpoint forecast.
She's out of jail and facing life as a registered sex offender. But will Mary Kay Letourneau end up with the boy she went to prison twice for? Her first day as a free woman coming up. Damaging new testimony in the Peterson murder trial. Wait till you hear what police say Scott did after his mistress found out about his wife. A high-speed chase ends in a crash, but it's not the suspect who caused this accident. The deadly mistake that cost one officer his life. Caught on tape. Fists fly at a city council meeting, and you won't believe what they're fighting over. And where is the best place to wet your whistle in the Rose City? We're going on a pub crawl to some of Portland's most popular bars.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.